You're live.
Welcome back to episode 13 of the Desecration of Orlane. We finally have the
Yay!
whole gang back together, after some complications and some minor slip-ups in the schedule. But I digress. Let's kick it off our usual. Who wants to take care of the recap?
I don't mind kicking off this show, Denny. So we start off in the woods. We finally picked up Bannon's trail as he was tracking down Modisette. We continue to follow the trail of just broken shit through the woods, and we find Bannon in a trap, and we find more traps around the place. We finally free Bannon, give him some weapons, and we make our way along the coast of the river, where we see it full of crocodiles. As we continue, we see this even bigger crocodile just basking in the sunlight on a rock. So, doing the smart thing, we decide to take it out and focus it ahead of time, instead of perhaps go there and trigger any other traps. So it goes okay. We hit it a few times, but there was a trap. From inside the river, there were strange aquatic creatures that pulled Bannon from the ledge into the river, really laying into him. So after the two fighters take care of the croc with the ranged dudes, trying to take out these aquatic monsters, the melee fighters get in there and rip these two to shreds. Bannon unfortunately falls unconscious and almost drowns, but then somebody jumps off a cliff and saves him and is pulled ashore. From then we take a quick rest, or we head into the cave and take a quick rest there. And yeah, we are currently... Well, I missed a whole bunch.
Yeah, you missed
We head into the cave. Yeah, we head into the cavern that we found behind the waterfall at the end of the river. As we enter, we look around for any possible opponents. We get closer to a strange glowing mushroom area where, once we get close enough for whatever triggers this particular creature, these mushrooms start shrieking at the top of their lungs. And we hear strange thumping noises. We hear strange... what sounds like stone being chipped away. So, wary of a trap, we head into one of the caverns, or one of the tunnels in the cave, so we're not completely surrounded by 3 or 4 fronts. We continue to make our way towards the stone on metal sound, and we find a group of just citizens that looked absolutely disheveled and thin, just toiling away at expanding the cavern. What else was in that area? Does anyone remember?
Did we mention the basilisk already?
Not yet.
Yep.
I think that was all that was there for that area. Then we go down the south to the western side, and we find multiple cages full of undead and one living person as well. In the middle of the cage was this strange-looking creature with I don't know, just a strange-looking creature. In some of the cages, some of the monsters were turned to stone, which gave Reggie the idea that it may, petrify people. So we set it ablaze with oil we gathered from supplies in the cave, and shoot at it and stab it until it dies. We free the prisoner, who seemed very sketchy, seemed very cowardly, but still took him with us, as we headed to a strange doorway that we could not get into. So we abandoned it and headed back to Bannon, who we left at the fork in the road. We then proceeded into the glowing mushroom area, where we came across some strange lizard folk, and then eventually a powerful Naga. After dealing it some damage and making it sort of parlay with us, we ended there. trying to free it from its prison.
It's about right, unless someone wants to throw something else out there. Any misinfo?
Nope, seems good.
Alright, so, let's kick this one off. Go back to the cavern where we last left our heroes.
Quote, unquote.
I actually did quite a bit last session.
Alright, so, you guys are on the page, yeah. You had agreed that you have to come to some sort of truce with the Naga that was impaled by a giant rock protruding from the wall, severing its spine and going through its rib cages. Mitchell, you had Reginald go back, get some pickaxes to help the boys with their work here.
Yeah. And then, what is it? Nagel rolled that beautiful 23.
Yeah, so when we last left you guys, you were in the process of getting the stone slab out of the beast. So yeah, the three of you are working away at it for one of your rolls, pretty decent. Yeah. You're bringing up your pickaxes and you're slamming it down, you're chipping it away. Every now and then the Naga before you lets out a little moan of pain, very uncomfortable. Reginald, I believe you're giving out instructions, or...
Yeah. I believe I was pointing out where to hit, where it would deal the less damage to the creature.
So you guys toil away at this. The more you work, you start to get a little tired, maybe. It takes quite some time. Eventually, though, one of Nagel's swings comes down on the rock, and you hear a cracking sound, and the rubble falls from the slab, and one of the ribs visibly caves in around it as if trying to move back to its natural position. It appears now that the Naga is loosened from her bindings and maybe easier to pull her out now, if you so wished. The remaining rot seems to be internal, so just the normal swinging around won't be sufficient.
Mm.
Well, so that should be about done with that.
Indeed.
I think now all we have to do is pull her.
My dear, are you prepared for this?
I suppose I don't have a choice in this matter.
Well, you do. You just don't seem too keen on it. But... Nagel, Leo...
Nagel will resist himself to be able to get a good hold.
Which side do you...
I'll take the left.
Perhaps we should be careful not to further damage, obviously. That doesn't have arms, does it?
Nope. Oh, Naga doesn't have control. One sec.
Yeah, I've still got control.
Alright, should be able to move him now.
Can do.
Marcus, would you let the men with the biceps pass, please?
Oh, yes, yes, of course.
And so the two of you get alongside of the Naga. And how do you want to go about this one?
Well, I guess I'm gonna try to grab as much around the Naga as possible.
Right. I mean, like I said, it doesn't really have arms, so it's gonna be kind of hard to situate ourselves around it.
Grip some scales. This is uncomfortable for me, and I can't imagine how it's gonna feel for you.
Well, let's just get it over with then, yeah.
On three, we'll pull. 1, 3.
We have to make a check for this.
Oh yeah, this is going to be an athletics check. I'll give you advantage on that. Because you're helping. Which one of you is going to be making the actual roll?
I think I'll make the actual roll.
I've got an athletics of 6. That's pretty legit. What's yours?
Hang on, I gotta find my... there he is.
Probably both gonna be the same.
My athletics is gonna be... 5.
Alright, so Leo, make the roll with advantage. Because Nagel here is helping you out.
Nice.
And that'll do it. Leo, you grab from behind the Naga's thick scales. Nagel, you do the same on the other side. And the both of you start pulling towards the opposite way, away from the wall. You hear the sound of bones cracking and flesh being torn and then juices coming out. It's a nice little struggle, but eventually, after a nice exertion, you're able to set her free from her bindings, and she collapses on the ground with a big slump. There's blood coming out of her wound as she lays there.
Leo will kind of take a minute to look over her wounds, see if there's anything that he might be able to help fix or help mend.
Yeah, sure, give me a medicine check. Although this would be a little bit harder, it's not the same
Nice.
anatomy. You're not too familiar with the inner workings of a Naga, however, there are things that are pretty much universal with living beings. You get a look at the back, the wound is gaping and wide, you can see the flesh. Some sort of infection seems to be creeping in, there's discoloration. A close look at the spine seems to be, there's a lot of shatters along the bone.
I've eaten snake before, but I don't know that the anatomy would be entirely relevant.
Reg will come up beside you, and he will, I guess, hand you some herbs.
And
I'm clicking the
those
thing,
I
but
think these. I'm not exactly a medic by any means.
most definitely not. None of us are. The only one that was shot through the head.
Or the lizard. He was pretty good.
I have some skills in this, if you'll permit me, but it is a Naga, and I believe that she did say she would be able to regenerate, would she not?
The process takes some time. The Naga attempts to sort of like right herself, you know, like stand up tall, but she finds herself unable to move anything below the break in her spine, that area, that section that's just gaping and wide open and bleeding.
Oh, if nothing else, perhaps magic will do. Pardon me, big fellows.
Leo will move, step aside, and he'll hand those herbs back to Reggie.
Alright, lads. We'll try to do it the old-fashioned way first. If all else fails, I think I have a cast left. Yes. Alright.
Nice.
That'll do, donkey.
You said you think you have a what left?
I have a casting left of Cure Wounds. So I could use that if I really need to, but just using regular, try and attempt regular medicine on my end first. Just bandaging, suturing, things like that.
With regular medicine, you take out some... You have a kit or anything like that, I'm assuming?
That's a
You're
good
just gonna, like,
question.
spit on it.
Yeah, let's rub some dirt in it. What do I have? Item-wise?
Go ahead, pour that tussin on.
Yeah, I don't have shit. I'm working with nothing. I guess I would ask beforehand. Does anyone happen to have a doctoring kit? I believed I had left mine back at home.
Nope.
Well, I
Oh, what now?
suppose my hands and bandages will have to do, and see what I can do with that. If worst comes to worst, then I'll expend my last spell casting.
You can dig in your hands and you try pulling away some flesh. It seems currently you can't really save it from whatever it seems to be eating away at her, eroding her. You could wrap some bandages around the scales, although you're not entirely sure if that will be sufficient. You do what you can. You're able to like isolate some of the worse off parts. Maybe set a couple bones straight, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, her regeneration should take care of the rest.
That may take too long. Very well. I'll have to do what I can with this. I will use my last casting for the day without a long rest to cure wounds. And... where's that roll? It's not giving it to me.
Whoops.
Can I have the roll? Okay, guess not. Hold on. Oh! It's asking me to cast at what level? 1, of course. I'm not that good.
Okay, yeah, you cast Cure Wounds on the creature, and some of the flesh, the scales don't exactly grow back in, but there's like a nice little layer, and it starts to harden a bit. You can see before it closes up that some of the things are being rejoined, mended back together. The Naga tries moving again, and it's getting some motion now, but it doesn't appear enough to be fully mobile. Thank you, human, for your assistance.
Of course, that appears to be the extent of what I could do at this time. I suppose we could offer our assistance to you to move around, but I believe your own anatomy will have to do its work before things are squared away.
I am sure with your help, the process should be much sooner if you are willing to wait.
Look around at the others. The slaves aren't going anywhere, and we have sentries out in front, we'll hear, before anything would leave. What say the rest of you?
Are we debating resting?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I doubt anything will be coming out of that locked doorway anytime soon. I could use a rest.
Indeed, I say we may as well. If it helps this Naga, it helps better our situation.
All right, you guys. What kind of rest are you taking? Like, who's gonna be on? Yeah.
Well, I'm not in terrible shape, so I mean, if we need a spotter around this corner here, that's what you're asking. I'd be
I
okay.
kept you alive.
Yeah, I'm not in too bad
it's
shape either.
Like a short rest.
Short rest would be good.
Hour-long nap.
See how long it takes for her. Rotate sentries if we need to for little naps.
For a short rest, an hour long. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably spent as much freeing her.
So the Naga props herself along the wall and begins. She closes her eyes, and you can hear odd, guttural, internal organs maybe shifting. Some sounds coming from it as it rests. Leo, you take up guard over there by the corpses and the mushrooms. Maybe a good, 20 minutes go by. You can see the guardsmen approaching you.
Oh shit. Have fun explaining this one.
You can see them come down the cave.
I mean, there's no way he didn't notice. We spent like an hour trying to free this thing.
He might have been arguing with the guy, or just shooting this shit with him.
Right. You still good, dude, or?
Yeah, I'm still here. I keep missing little snippets of conversation.
Right, okay, so yeah, Bannon's approaching. As you guys are resting, there's a little bit of time. You've been out here for a bit, so you can tell.
I don't know why I clicked that, sorry.
And he draws closer to you and says, "You there, beast folk. I feared something had occurred, but you seem to be in good condition."
I am.
"What takes you so long?"
We are resting. Not all of us can be physically fit. Some of us require rest in order to better recuperate. I think magical use takes more tax on one's body.
He continues to walk as he talks with you, and he takes a look around. He notices a dead reptile-like men behind you. He looks sort of concerned. He draws a weapon real quick, or he readies himself, says, "What happened here?"
Leo just kind of turns to him, puts a hand up. Stay your weapon. Everything back here has been taken care of. These lizards were all dealt with. There is no cause for concern.
"Right. Well, don't take too long. We must find that fiend and bring him to an end. Where's the rest of your party?"
They rest just around the corner. We found this to be an ideal strategic point to rest so that we could bottleneck and filter any encroaching enemies.
Does it loop around? Is it a cavern, or is it an end?
I believe it goes just back to a small cave-like area.
Okay, well, Don't waste any more time. You tell them to rest up and let's get going.
And Leo just nods. I shall. And he turns away.
Yep. Ben heads back to his post. You can see him walking down the hall. You guys, if you want to pop your short rest stuff, you can do so.
Yeah.
They change certain features on Roll20, huh?
Are we good? No one wants to heal up, or?
I don't think I got hit.
I'm at full power. Only thing I'm missing is rages.
I only needed 3 hit points.
I'm at 20 to 27. Not like dying.
I guess I'll produce 10 rounds for my my gun by using arcane magazine, but other than that, there's really not a whole lot else to do.
Alright, yeah, your hour goes by and some of you are feeling better. You tend to your own wounds.
So Leo will come around the corner. Reginald.
Why, yes.
I've been approached by an impatient Bannon. He's eager to move forward.
As am I. Thank you for telling me. Our rest is concluded. We should be on our way. Actually, that's right. My dear, how are you faring now?
As you address her, eyes snap open. She gives you a mean glare, but other than that, she doesn't say anything, begins to move her tail. It seems a lot of emotion has returned to her. I appear to have regained some control. However, I'm not at full shape. I can move. When she does so, she begins, like, coiling around a bit. You can notice that the movement is a bit slow, but it's functional.
Mm.
I managed to keep Bannon from coming too deep within this little cavern area, so as to not see the Naga.
Well done. I mean, he's going to see her anyways.
However, it's probably best that we explain the situation in full before we present her.
Most correct. And Reggie walks out to speak to Ben.
The rest of you, what are you up to? You see Reginald heading off his path.
Just tinkering around, making sure I have those rounds with the arcane magazine. Maybe banging out a few things on some rock. Just looking around the general part of this cavern that was dug out. Nothing too fancy.
This natural cave. Yeah. It's Leo and Reginald. I guess Nagel, you're following too?
Yeah, but he's not going all the way.
Alright, yeah.
I'm waiting for the, whatever resolution to have happen with, Bannon before coming down with the snake lady, the Naga.
You cough, and Bannon turns quickly and draws a knife. It has a piece of jerky in it. He seems to have been eating it.
Ah, good. You've been resting up. How do you fare?
I feel alive, but Someone out there shouldn't be right now. I say we get back to that. Good to see you in good health, though.
I couldn't agree more with all of the above. You remember that the townsfolk have gone missing over the past few months? I believe I know why.
And why is that?
Modisette stumbled across a trapped Naga. I don't know if you know what that is.
What do you mean, a trapped Naga?
Well, something killed it, and as the immortal creature was being reborn, it was reborn here, around a pillar. He came across her, and coerced her into following his wishes. The townsfolk have been dominated through magical means. That is what he'd been doing.
You're telling me the domination is by the work of that fiend?
Modisette, yes.
And the Naga, is it dead now?
Nagas are immortal creatures. No, she is not dead. But she will help us.
Help us? What do you mean, help us?
She wants what we want. Modisette. Dead.
We don't need help doing that. You really think we can trust that snake?
We can trust her so long as our interests coincide. And once they no longer do, she will leave.
Oh yeah? And where do you think she'll be going? And what about all those people who are dominated by her mind? I will not have the people of Orlane be their slaves for life.
I concur with that statement, wholly. But killing her will do nothing to end the spell.
How do you know that?
I'm familiar with the workings of magics. I'm confident, however, that if I continue my magical research, I'll be able to dispel the effects. It will simply take time. But that is not for now. For now we have another wizard to hunt. And an unlikely ally with us.
No. I don't think this is a mistake, okay? Your pride in your own power is clouding your vision. That creature, the second it gets what it wants, it will try to kill us. And if you're telling me it's in a rock right now, I say we strike.
Bannon, are you familiar with the concept of immortality?
Are you insulting my intelligence?
You insult yourself. This creature, when slain, will regenerate elsewhere. And it knows us. It knows this location.
Then we cave in the walls, we trap it here. That lion boy, he said there was a cave, right? There's no other exit. I recall that much. We have the rocks come down and seal it in a grave of stone.
Personally, that is too great of a loose end. I say for now we let nature run its course. We have our ally. Let's use it.
If you want to, roll persuasion, maybe?
Oh, sure. 9.
Okay, Elf. Right. We'll trust this Naga for now.
Oh, not for a second. But as I said, the enemy of our enemy is our ally.
I want to get a look at it, though. I want to see the creature for myself. I've only read about it in books.
Shit.
Very well. Well, I don't think he'll strike. Come on now. We have a mage to slay.
Oh, very well. Put my uh, what are the, goggles of night on, I believe is what they're called.
I think so, yeah. The topsider's crutch.
Let's be off, shall we?
You begin walking very slowly. It slithers behind you. It
Ugh.
struggles to get up the slopes. You bend the corner and see Bandit in the group way before it comes out of anywhere.
Oh god.
Eventually, if you wait long enough, the creature rounds its head, very large. Bannon's eyes sort of shoot open. He turns around, he looks at Mitchell and says, "You said it was trapped in stone."
Why, yes, I said it was.
Are you making a joke now? This is not the situation for that. He seems very angry.
I don't understand. We were 80 feet away. Did you not hear us free it?
Well,
Clattering
for the
in
sake of the
stone.
map, it's a bit longer than, you know? It's not this scale.
I gotcha. Toiled away for a good hour freeing this thing, clang on clang of stone and steel.
There are many sounds in this cave. Don't think I haven't heard the banging. What was that? I saw you go down that path earlier. Wait, no, that's not the point right now. The serpent sort of falls behind you. Yeah. Marcus, you're able to help it, maybe guide it down the slopes.
All the while, Marcus looks a bit disgusted. He's preferable to working with non-living objects.
Where did that other one go?
The coward, he ran off. I told him to wait, but it was a distraction I didn't want to suffer through. And he says
Very
this
well.
as the Naga grows closer and he looks at it.
How far up his mouth is he gonna put that foot?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm seeing if Dan's gonna, stick a foot in his mouth or something.
No. The Naga, like, slithers by him and gives a glance, but doesn't really say anything. He's just glaring daggers at the entire time, but he doesn't move from his spot.
We haven't searched down here, right? Is there anything?
Let me just... You have night vision, so you can see...
Yeah. I don't remember if you said there was, like, nothing there narratively or not.
So the stream or the river continues forth that way, and there's a crossing on their side. You can see some land.
Is it deep here? Because I know we walked through here.
Oh, yeah. So it was a bit shallow when you entered behind the waterfall, but you notice as you drew closer to the what's that thing called? It's a slope or whatever. The water rose, and eventually, when you're around over here, right where you're standing about, it was about chest by your yeah. It was like up to like the bottom of your pecs for you yourself.
Oh,
A
okay.
bit taller than Marcus, who was a bit around his neck.
Is there anything off here? I got 60. Where's it end?
You can see more, another passage, some water.
Oh. Gentlemen, lady, there's Something I didn't notice. Another passageway this way. Well, we know the obvious route. I say we look for the back door. What say you?
I'm not afraid to get wet.
Good man.
Well, I jumped in the water to kill that giant crocodilian. It's not a problem for me.
You did, quite gloriously. Marcus? Able to keep the powder dry?
Oh, of course, but I have some trepidations. It seems like that statue's the correct path. You think this will not get us lost or led astray?
I don't think we'll get lost in here, though. I hope this to be a back entrance. Personally.
I feel like that would be too terribly convenient, but unless anyone else has an alternative idea.
I guess it was more shallow over here.
Yeah.
Wait. The statue shouldn't be a barrier to us anymore. Can the Naga not control minds? And was there not a large brute out in front of the statue who could smash that thing to pieces?
I believe the undead are typically immune to such effects. You cannot tell a zombie what to do, unless you're the one that raised it.
Marcus is kind of shrugs. Very well.
He's just afraid to get his gun wet.
Absolutely.
So you're all crossing?
Yeah.
Reggie is at least. He has a look at the other side.
Alright.
Maybe we'll hop in and go.
Yeah, the water is like pushing against you as you cross. It's not too strong. You're easily able to make your way.
And it's pushing this way, right?
It's pushing the opposite direction.
That's some magical water.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
Right. Modisette must be powerful indeed to make the water flow backwards.
What do you mean?
There's a waterfall out here.
Yeah. So the waterfall, like when you approach, right, the waterfall's facing you and going out one way, and it seems the water seems to have caved in this way, and it's sort of collecting, maybe in a big old pool or another passage down that way, you know?
Okay. Alrighty. What do my L5 see, Master GM?
Let me reveal some of that stuff. So it's a nice little snaking passageway. You don't see this. The first thing that you notice as you make your way across from the other side is that it's a foul odor. A very familiar one to you at this point, however.
The stench of death.
A bit more rancid than that.
Ah! Those things. Be on the lookout, gentlemen. There are monsters here who are masters of camouflage, and their stench is overwhelming. We're just gonna cast Mage Hand and just drag it along the place, trying to like startle them or provoke them.
Yeah, you're like slamming your mage hand against walls and stuff in little nooks.
Like more like any hiding spots, yeah.
You can do so. Nothing appears to be provoked by your action. There seems to be like scratches along the walls and a loose scale here and there. Path just continues.
Reggie draws his sword. Gentlemen, are you content to let me do all the fighting?
I actually think I might enjoy that.
I guess Reggie keeps walking forward then.
So the Naga had stopped by the water side. It didn't want to go into the water, and Bannon, you can see if you look behind, sort of like trying to kick it in there, like shove it.
Jesus.
It's gonna get killed.
Man.
For real this time.
Desperate man.
This man's been knocked unconscious so many times.
So yeah, the passage sort of narrows, or it becomes more narrow as you proceed forward. The scent is very foul. You know this already.
Yeah.
Around there.
Troglodytes.
Is that actually a corpse?
Let me take a closer look. Oh, sure, there's some bones. He isn't holding a book. It seems to have been a being that has fell to the test of time.
A spell book, my
I'm
god!
gonna look this being over.
Yeah, give me an investigation, sure.
It has the key to all things, my god!
See what I can glean about what might have killed it or what it might have been in life. No. It's actually still
The lost
alive.
king.
You're sort of like prodding it. You poke it with maybe the butt of your gun, and to the touch, it sort of like disintegrates. Something was holding it together maybe, and pieces fall apart. And sort of turns a bony dust.
Good heavens. Pay it no more mind.
Okay, Mitchell, you can see this, but... One sec.
Okay. Ooh.
The passage seems to come to an end, and in this little circular little cavern, little crevice, adorned along the wall, there appear to be a lot of large eggs of some sort.
Well, I doubt they belong to the Naga. Be on the lookout. They can't have gone far from their nest. In fact, they're around here somewhere. If they don't show themselves, Reggie's gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
God, that's annoying.
Dex save right there. You
Nice one.
you trip over.
That's
a
doubly
You
annoying.
manage to catch yourself.
Sorry, 1 second.
So what's up with the sheet? Something
There we
changed
go.
here.
Reggie casts web.
Okay. Where's the target?
Right
You
in
can draw
there.
a nice little... If you want to make the rectangle, you can place it on the map. Yeah, describe how it looks as it falls on the eggs in the area.
Alright, Reggie, annoyed with this, extends his left hand and starts drawing strange, chaotic motions in the air that make no sense. But as these markings fall into the air, it looks exactly like a spider web. And he pushes his hand through it and forward. And from there, it hits the center there and explodes into a web. Thick and viscous.
The area is now thoroughly covered in a webbing of your make.
Leo. Actually, never mind. I have one myself. And Reggie pulls out a torch and starts to light it.
Okay. Your companions can now see further down.
Oh, that's right, you guys can't see. There's a clutch of eggs down south, and the stench of troglodytes fill the area. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Eggs, you say?
Indeed.
Okay, yeah, what are you trying to get a look at?
You almost see them.
Pick anything up.
What's up? I can't hear you.
Just sniffing around to see if we can pick anything up.
Yeah, you sniff. It smells familiar. You've fought with them many times. There's nothing in particular. You now smell some sort of... I guess web doesn't have a scent, huh?
I guess not.
A nice silky
Smells silky.
smell.
Alright, Reggie will advance a hair, and then he will throw the torch at the web, igniting it.
Okay, yeah. You throw your torch, it glides through the air, it lands in the web. It takes maybe a second or two, or about 6 seconds. Web's exposed to the fire, burns... Oh, it burns away one round, okay.
Yeah.
It catches instantaneously. The fire roars. It consumes the eggs. You can hear cracking. After about 6 seconds or so, the webs are no longer there. The eggs are still ablaze, and smoke is filling this cavern.
Still no trogs?
Oh no. But you do have some nice scrambled eggs now.
Ooh, we do.
Is that fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long do the eggs burn for? Just a couple more seconds?
They burn for a little while. How long will the fire last? I guess there's nothing there lighting it anymore, huh?
Yeah. Just the initial conflagration.
Yeah. Sure. Maybe about 30, maybe or so seconds, and the fire dies out.
Very well. Richie will move forward and inspect the damage. See if there's any loot or anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything about troglodytes. He doesn't know if they collect these things like dragons do.
So the eggs, closer look, they seem to be scorched now, blackened. Some of them have cracks inside. What specifically are you looking for, you know?
I'm just looking for loot.
Well, if you ignore the eggs, there doesn't appear to be any loot. It seems to be sort of a nesting area.
And he sees no troglodytes. There's probably a few like small animal bones, shit like that.
Yeah, there's some... Well, everything seems to be sort of toasty now. If you look inside the eggs, you can see some sort of... It kind of looks like a trog, or a little baby trog, or a tadpole of some kind, but it's definitely dead.
Yeah.
And burnt.
Well, managed to save at least some of the future. Or some trouble in the future. Well, that's them. Or all of the eggs are dead, yeah? Yeah.
Nice little clutch has been slaughtered. I'm sure somewhere you have Kothar sneezing, or maybe shedding a tear.
This one feels a disturbance.
Is that it?
I hope so. Their clutch is destroyed. Maybe just drag Leo along with us, because the dude's a bit busy.
Yeah, sure, Leo follows you back.
Yeah, I'm fine. Following Phil.
As you
Cross
guys
back
return, you can see that Naga's like half in the water, while Banyan's still fucking doing whatever.
Oh no,
Banyan
my dear,
does
there's
for
no
him.
need.
Are you trying to get Aiden?
Being honest here, this thing's not exactly as intimidating as the books tell you they are. It shoots him a glare as it's spitting out water and turns around.
Well, just remember you can't kill it. So that should be intimidating as enough.
There was nothing back there but a clutch of troglodyte eggs. Horrible creatures.
I'm assuming you dealt with them.
Hence the smell.
Ah, that's a pleasant change of pace. Usually when we have problems, he sort of just looks at the Naga.
Oh, this one isolated incident? Why, yes. You do realize you are one of these incidents.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you almost met the death of my party, and here I am, aligned with you, to see a common goal through.
You're comparing me to this? He points.
I'm comparing you to a similar situation.
That
I
thing in
don't
iron.
want you to die, Bannon. I risked my life to save you from drowning.
All due respect, maybe it's best not argue.
I concur with the man with the large muscles. There's nothing over there. I don't feel confident in my swimming abilities to head further down the rapids.
Well, here's an idea. Perhaps we could grab one of these corpses and throw a torch on it or something and let it float down the river.
An interesting idea. You get the corpse, I get the torch.
I could do that.
What exact purpose is the corpse torch going to serve us?
Shed more light down there. Actually, let me get a better look. And he'll wade through the water once again to head down to the furthest point so you get an even better look at the area down there. It's just more rapids. There must be something down there.
Yeah, Leo, you grabbing a corpse, I guess?
That is correct.
Oh yeah, you're able to find that nice old little lizard guy that you had played a part in killing earlier. If you want, you can drag him back.
Yeah, I
Reg-
could grab him.
Reggie lights a torch and sets it on top of the body as it hopefully sails down the river.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Good
There's a
idea,
nice
Leo.
wound in its chest that you're able to insert the torch upright and light it and it stays.
Jesus.
The
If
corpse
not,
with
we'll make one.
with a torch in it It listlessly floats down the stream of water. As it does, you can see more of it. It sort of goes back and forth. It rocks a lot as it picks up pace the further it gets. You're able to see that eventually it comes to a stop, maybe around here. And suddenly the light snuffs out, but you hear a splashing sound, a bit different than the water hitting the walls.
There's something back there. Reggie quickly goes to the other side.
Okay.
I don't feel like tussling with it at the moment. Though I do feel like killing a mage.
Yeah, you guys have been out here for a while.
Thanks for putting up with me.
Well, no, I mean in game, you know, not.
He wasn't criticizing you. He was giving you a time frame reference.
He's also being true.
Yeah, you guys make your way back.
Same thing, there's just a zombie there, and nothing's changed.
Nothing appears to have changed when you last left it. I'm gonna describe this for Nagel. He isn't exactly here, right? Nagel, a loud thumping as you approach, and the group returns where you were previously. There's a giant undead beast with a very crude weapon in its hand, but it's chained to the cave wall very thoroughly, many chains. It appears to be banging against the wall very slowly every now and then. And down towards here, there's some sort of mechanism, a giant head with a mouth agape, plants, a very peculiar plant in its mouth. Mitchell had previously placed one that he picked up earlier with his mage hand in on the tongue, and it slammed down shut. Then it opened again after a moment.
Yeah. I still have no idea how to solve this puzzle. Lady Naga, do you have any idea how to solve this puzzle?
It's a very slow process. Eventually she catches up to you. And she looks around and gives an inspection. She says, "You are strong enough to free me from my bindings. Can't you do the same with this gate? Smash it to bits."
Is the gate made of stone?
It is not.
Is it made of metal?
There are metal pieces, and yes. You can surmise it'd be a lot harder than shattering rock.
Indeed.
I think we should collect as many of those herbs from that supply cache as we can and begin to try them here. I feel like one of
I only
them...
have the one more on my person. There were no more I could find.
And this was not one we've already tried?
Indeed.
Should have been throwing eggs in its mouth instead of burning them.
I do not think that the gate mouth desires eggs.
Though I had not thought of that. An excellent suggestion, Nagel.
Shall we try the herb and then perhaps resort to brute force if need be?
Very well. I ready to mage hand the other herb over.
Oh yeah. A very similar process goes forth in front of you. You lay down the herb. The second it touches the tongue, nothing happens, but then suddenly the mouth shuts.
Yeah.
You can hear a grinding, and it opens up again, and now there are more petals on the tongue.
Can you get those petals out?
Reggie puts the mage hand in the mouth to get the petals out.
Yeah, you pick it up with a couple of the petals up. You lift it up. It seems to have triggered it again, and it shuts clicks and grinds. The petals that remain are now mostly powder at this point.
Reggie looks into the mouth. He doesn't put his head there or anything. He just looks into it. Is that like a switch at the end?
So you get a nice closer look. If you want, you can give me like an investigation.
Sure. 14.
So with the 14, you see maybe some dried blood along the teeth in the inner of the mouth, but deep down, sort of like where the uvula would be behind that, it's a small couple holes that you can see a light maybe on the other side.
Alright. Reggie will send the mage hand in towards the light.
Okay. Mage hand drifts in the mouth. I'm assuming you're hovering it so it doesn't touch anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do so and you get towards the light. It's not too deep in there, but...
We'll try and manipulate anything over there. Maybe feel around the other side for...
Right?
I can't, no.
No, okay, well...
What he will do, actually, is he'll have the mage hand come back through, and he will... He will summon his familiar. Remember the snake?
Yeah.
And he'll have it curl up really small, and he'll have the mage hand send it through the other side.
So you're spending an hour?
Oh no, I've already done this.
Oh,
Reggie had a
Yeah,
snake.
he has a snake.
okay, yeah. Let me go get that token real quick. What were you doing with the snake? Sorry, can you just grab that again? I was thinking about...
Yeah. Reggie has the snake curl up really, really tiny, like, and he has the mage hand send it through the mouth to the other side, so he can see through it.
Okay. Yeah. You float your familiar along the mouth. That's a lot larger than it should be. And then you look through its eyes, right?
Yeah, while it's on the
You
other
can
side.
see back and forth. You're sort of hovering, but with its vision through the holes, you can see maybe a carpet of some sort, or there seems to be a dancing light. Maybe a candle illuminates a room. It's hard to make out much. The holes aren't too big.
Can it fit through the opening?
It is not that small. The
Okay.
opening isn't large in itself. It's maybe like a small fist. Well, that's actually an overstatement, you know.
Yeah. Then yeah, Reggie will send the familiar back, banish it to it, whatever place it goes to when it's not around his neck. And he'll send the mage hand through to that area with the fist and make the fist and try and manipulate it that way.
So you're like punch the white hole.
You said it was the size of a fist. I imagine there's like a fist imprint or something.
Oh no, not. It's a general reference. It's not a fist. You know?
Okay. Well, I tell the party this. I'm grasping the straws here. There is blood on there. We may need a sacrifice. Now, I don't nominate any of us. But there are plenty of corpses strewn about the place.
There are plenty of corpses. We also have a bleeding naga.
Well, if it's blood that's required, I'm more than willing.
Yes, and I'm more than willing to help you bleed as well if you need to.
Now.
What about if we push the giant in there?
I'd like to see you try and move that thing against his will.
A tall order, I think.
Well, I have the fastest one standing in front of the mouth. When he comes in, move out the way. Goes in the mouth.
By all means, then, go for it if you're willing to try.
I don't think I'm the fastest one.
You're not. Though technically all of our speeds are the same. You are one of the more athletic of us, though.
I'm not built for dodging. I'm built for taking. I wouldn't have a problem running up behind and giving it a push as it moves. Someone moves.
Well, if you ask me, I like the idea about using the Naga.
I think that perhaps we go collect some flesh from the corpse in the cage.
Sure.
Should try the most benign initiatives possible if we can. No need to hurt or exert ourselves more than is necessary.
Reggie will go here to the dead zombie,
Okay.
and he'll rust the lock away with his spell.
Yep.
If there is a lock on it,
Yeah, the cage was locked.
yeah, he'll destroy the lock and start dragging the corpse away.
Yeah, the zombie was the only one you didn't kill. You know this as you approach it.
Oh,
You literally killed everything else in that room but that for some reason.
Reggie takes care of it.
Yeah, sure. Before you open the cage, right?
Yeah.
I can do that. You want to drag the corpse with you?
Yeah. Well. And Reggie, like, manipulates the arm and puts it on the tongue.
Oh yeah, you put the zombie's listless, dry arm on the tongue. It slams down and it grinds. When it comes to, the arm is all... It's rather destroyed, rather torn apart. No more blood has been added. The hand is thoroughly inoperable if it were to be somehow brought back to life.
Okay. Didn't realize it was bone dry. Fuck it. Reggie will take a dagger and draw blood on his hand. And
Yeah?
He'll splash the blood on the tongue.
How much blood do you draw in here?
He'll draw a d4 hit points worth.
Jesus Christ, you're slitting your wrists.
2 hit points.
Okay. Yeah, okay, now describe exactly how you're doing this. Like, are you just cutting yourself and putting your hand in the mouth and let it drip, or are you collecting the blood and tossing it in there? Or...
Well, collecting the blood and tossing it in there. There's no way he's putting his hand in the mouth.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You get a nice amount of blood collected in a vial, I'm assuming you have.
Yeah.
Or there are some tools lying around this cavern you've remembered. And you splash the blood in there. The blood mixes in with the herb, and you can see it slowly dripping down. The head closes, and it does its grinding thing. But when it opens, the blood still sort of along a path on the tongue, like a ridge, sort of, you know? It goes deeper into the mouth, and the holes are no longer visible. The light is being blocked. After a moment, you can sort of hear like a pouring sound if you listen intently enough. And then a click. And then slowly, the mouth begins to part. The opposite way a mouth should. Has a nice little passage make its way available to you now.
Was that really it? Bollocks, these puzzles.
Sometimes it is the simplest thing that you tend to overlook.
Indeed. Alrighty, you said a passageway opens up.
Oh, yeah. It's not to scale on this map, but maybe it's like it's yeah, a passage opens, and on the other side you can see like a room or a lit room. Candles played across. Let me reveal some stuff.
Well, gentlemen, I would feel much at home if you two were to go first. Much safer, at least.
Of course you would.
It's like a little hall, you know what I mean? That opens up.
Well, Nego, shall we?
We shall.
You barge into the room. There appears to be an unmade bed. Sheets are tossed around in the corner. Let me take a look here. Yeah, okay. On the bed frame, there appears to be a manacle, like a cuff of some sort. There's writing scrawled. There's some blood on the room. You're looking at anything of interest. There's another door. It's not drawn on the map, but on the opposite end that you could open. Let me draw that right here. Yeah, but the bed is unmade. The room seems to be disheveled.
Disheveled.
Leo will turn back. Reggie, there appears to be another door.
Ah, excellent. Most excellent indeed.
Is
Some
it
wooden one.
But first things first. Reggie will take a look around the room, looking for anything pertinent, anything that Modisette may have set aside specifically. I'd like to investigate the area.
Okay.
Spend
The
a
only...
quick minute.
Yeah. The only thing I would be any... This is just very similar. You've been in Modisette's room before. It's very similar. The only thing that may be odd is a pair of cuffs are to the bed.
Okay. Do they have any blood on them? Have they been used recently?
There's no blood, but perception or no investigation?
It's
How would you
investigation.
determine? Yeah, the last time this room was used, maybe.
17.
Oh yeah. You go to examine the cuff. It's a metal cuff, and it feels a bit warm, a little bit.
Oh,
I
very
suppose.
recent. Reggie, you two, please, in front of me. And Reggie will mage hand the door once they're in front of him. You, shields!
One of these days, I think maybe our fingers will break.
Shield, you say?
Out of character.
Yeah. You mage hand a door opens, and reveals a larger area.
I mean, if you want me to front line, I've done it before, gentlemen. Oh, okay.
1 second.
I didn't even realize where the door was.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking dread GM Land. GM Land. So the door creaks open with your mage hand. And it becomes apparent. You can see now, if you look into the new room, you see Modisette working her way, toiling with something at a desk. There appears to be two figures splayed out on tables across from him.
1 second.
Nagel will draw his weapon as well.
Did you lot find anything in there?
Shh. Damn it. Describe these two people on the table. Are they conscious?
How are you walking in there, or?
I mean, you described to us something.
So yeah, from like a quick look, you can see him working away, and there appears to be two figures laying on a table, listlessly. They're not moved. They're not. There's no conversation going on. They just appear to be there. You're sort of, I'm assuming you didn't like shove the door open, right? You're always.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have a great look at here, but you can make out certain details.
Alrighty. Rich
Should
will
I-
draw his thumb across his throat and point to Modisette.
Should I throw my spear at him?
Run up and kill him.
I gotta aim for a knee.
I prefer the flat of your blade. Reggie will draw his short sword as well.
Ask a great
Should we roll for initiative?
Yeah, give me initiative if you want.
I mean, there's gonna be combat.
Nagel's gonna try to sneak in when he goes in.
What are you up to, Ghost? Because right now you're standing by the.
I mean, I have no idea what's going on. I just hear
Yeah.
Reggie go shh, and I'm just looking at these three.
You see him draw his weapon
I mean,
and make a cutting motion across his throat.
at that point, I've had my rifle out. I believe there's trouble up ahead.
Ooh, Nagel. Ooh, Nagel, baby.
Going last.
Yeah.
Our target is there, Ben says he follows you. The Naga is much too large to fit down the passage, but...
Yeah.
I don't like that she's free and not coming in here, but c'est la vie. Probably easier to open from the inside than outside. That's not bad.
Where's Nagel? Let me see this.
Should be a 1. I think his got wiped when we reset
Yeah.
initiative.
So just hit initiative again. Add yourself at 1.
I did it for him.
Okay. What a good GM.
Let me just send that.
Appreciate it, Demi.
Alright, yeah, sure. Leo, you'll have the first one in this. You're gonna engage in combat. Leo...
Yeah, I didn't Reggie just say to hold off on attacking him?
Reggie?
Sorry, I didn't hear what Leo said.
You said, didn't you say to hold off on attacking him? He seems to be hesitant.
Oh no. Reggie wants like at least the flat of their blades, if not the full force. Reggie's making to kill this man.
So I could make that run in swing, yeah?
I think I know what he's doing too.
Yeah, if you were to kick down his door, it'd alert him, but you'd be able to run in there and get a swing off.
I thought he already opened the door. Oh, he cracked it?
Yeah, you guys like peeked in and got a
Oh,
look.
okay.
Unless you open the entire... Alright, you said I opened the door of my mage in, my bad, man.
It's all good, homie. It's all good. Modisette's focused at his work.
Erratic.
He's a madman.
Alright, then yeah, I'm gonna just run up this way.
Okay. Let's change up the music real quick. Do I want this one? Nope. God. Fuck it.
Sorry, I shouldn't assume that hit, but I assume that hits.
But yeah, you charge into the room. Yeah, you get a better look at the place. You run up, and Modisette turns his head to look at you as you swing down with your great axe.
Nice.
You take a nice little chunk out of him. He screams out. He lets out a yelp of pain. He seems to have been caught off guard by this. You get a better look at the two figures on the table. One of them you recognize as the mayor. She appears to be sort of... She's tied down on this table. There appears to be something glowing from her chest. It's got a wound. The other woman appears to be unconscious as well, but she seems to be unharmed, and there are tools strewn about all over the place, you know?
Okay, yeah, I think I'm just gonna... That's gonna be turn.
Okay. Reginald?
Alrighty. His focus, if I recall, was a necklace, right? Reggie had taken it for a time.
You definitely got a focus from him, yeah. Or you got a necklace from him, I should say.
Alright, well, Reggie is going for that focus, trying to take it from him.
Okay.
So we can't cast spells. What would you like me to roll?
Probably like a sleight of... Are you wrestling it from him? How are you doing this?
Trying to come in as he's distracted by Leo's massive strike. So hopefully more dexterously.
Yeah, if you're doing it quickly, it's probably like a sleight of hand thing, you know? Snatch
Yeah.
it from him.
21. Maybe opposed perception?
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. Maybe. Or not. Acrobatics is like a dodgy thing, right?
Yeah. Make it like a grapple check. Because I've been grappling his focus.
Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense. Yeah.
No, it's an 18 on the die for my athletics roll.
Doesn't
matter.
You're able to snatch it, you yank it off of him. You're now holding his necklace. He looks at you now.
I take some steps back. And I put it in my pocket.
Okay.
Surrender, Modisette. Surrender immediately.
You do not know what you are doing. You must stop at once. I will lose it all if you do not.
Turns are 6 seconds. That's it for Reggie.
Yep.
If you wish to surrender, combat will end.
He sort of has a panicked look on his face. He's looking around the room. But, you're up, man.
Is that? I probably could just move my full movement and get in there.
Yeah.
What is this blasphemy? In the name of the Baron, I will put an end to you. Raise my rifle and let's have a go.
See if this hits. He's a wizard, but he's an elf.
I'm not. It's probably gonna hit.
It's not
Nice chunk of wall gets blasted behind him.
Some vials shatter. Papers are thrown about. Some tools fall to the ground and clank. Bannon gets really excited. So excited, he just sort of runs in. He gets behind you. You can't really... There's a lot of people in his way, so he has to stop. He says, "Come on, let me through." Modisette now, he looks at you all. He looks panicked and he turns. He doesn't actually strike out at you, Leo, or anyone else. And he runs over to Eleanor. He's covering her and he's trying to pick up some of the tools that have been blown aside by your shot. He says, "No, no, no. Not now. You cannot interfere now." He's sort of like messing around with her, trying to right her in a proper position. Things are moved around. Some powders, you know? He seems way more occupied with this and with battle. Nagel? He stood within a decent range of you, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd be able to make it, I think. I'm asking Reggie if he still wants the wizard unconscious.
Ooh. Restrain him. I don't know what he's done to the man.
Alright, with that, Nagel will sleeve his sword and charge over to tackle him, hoping to grapple him at the same time.
Please don't knock yourself onto the mayor. Mr. President.
Direction. That would be unarmed, right? Or of
For a
something.
tackle, it's probably just like a grapple roll, you know?
So that'd be athletics
Yeah.
or strength. Same thing.
Athletics.
Be able to grapple him and shove him, you know? He's in your strong, burly arms right now.
Surrender.
No, no! Let me go! He's actually, you can see some tears well in his eyes.
What have you done?
Yeah. Yeah?
Alright, so Leo's seeing that, seems how Nagel's grappling him. Is he on the ground? Did he tackle him to the ground? Or just grab him?
He's grabbing him. He just hit him kind of hard when he was doing it.
Alright, so I guess what will happen is Leo is going to come up beside, and with his one free hand, he's just going to try and punch Modisette in the face.
Okay.
Nagel's gonna turn and try to take the blow.
Wait, Nagel's getting punched?
Yeah, he doesn't want it because he's holding the. As far as he's concerned, the wizard is harmless while he's grappling them, so he's not gonna let somebody just come in and whack him.
Just trying to knock
Roll
his
damage.
conscience.
I'd say that's a respectable reaction.
So
Holy shit, that's a strong punch, man. Not even a monk.
It should only be 4.
Yeah,
You don't add
He's had your
proficiency
strength
to
mod.
damage.
Plus my strength mod, yeah.
it's not that you're not proficient. You're,
Well, you're always proficient with your fists, but it just
You're
deals
not.
your
It
strength
doesn't
mod.
add to damage.
Yeah. What's your
Damage,
strength
yeah,
mod
it's-
for?
Strength mod is 4, yeah.
So you hit for 5.
So it should be 5 damage, yeah. Unarmed is
It's
1
still
plus
pretty
plus your strength
strong.
mod.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I'll tell you what, Nate.
Sorry. Hang on a second, I'm trying to fix something.
I'll take the full damage, whatever it is
Yeah.
for. Yeah, that's no biggie.
Like you don't have 1,000 hit points.
Sometimes you just gotta get punched in the face.
Yeah, you see Leo come in and raising his big meaty claws, his meaty paws. He comes in for a punch, and you sort of turn your body, and you take the brunt of it, I guess.
Now he's gonna glance over at Leo.
I only wanted to knock him prone, conscious.
He needs to be able to talk, and he's defenseless.
He will be able to talk, however, I feel it would be best if we knocked him unconscious and got him out of this location. We don't know what other kinds of traps or machinations this elf has here.
And then with that, he'll look over at Reggie. Like the now what look on his face.
Richard walks over. And he'll put he'll place hands on Modissette's collar. What have you done? How do you undo this? Tell me.
Yeah, I'll end combat. This isn't really combat.
Yeah, I don't think we're in combat anymore.
But there's something that does matter, but... Yeah, I got it. Okay, never mind.
Hold your fire, Marcus. He's done something with the mayor. Speak, man.
No, there is no going back. I must finish my work, otherwise I will lose it all. Let go of me, you must understand.
Finish what?
If you guys want to get a better look, you know, at the table.
Reginald will try and investigate the scene. Should I use Arcana or Investigation?
Depends on what you're looking for. I'll let you guys choose how you want to look at what's going on, you know?
At first, Reggie will try and look at things magically, like what's he done. 25. Potentially how I can fix it.
You have looked at his notes. There are similar scrawlings that you've seen in his books splayed out on her skin, on the mayor's skin. And similar notes, you quickly glance around the lady behind you. She has similar markings on her. The mayor, her lower abdomen, there's an incision mark, and there seems to be some sort of gem that it's a illumination, like a green globe at it. It's placed into her. You vaguely recall reading some notes about this, being some research that he was looking into about extending life of some sort. You never really finished his notes. You didn't get like a big thorough read into it, you know?
I think he's putting it together though. Modissette's trying to put her soul into the body of that elf to make her live forever. Is that what I'm seeing here?
If that's the conclusion you jump to, then sure.
Marcus is gonna scan around the room, looking for anything out of place or anything moving, because he's hesitant that he doesn't believe someone like Modisette would just be in here alone if he knows people are looking for him.
Okay, yeah, give me a perception.
Yeah, sounds right. Go.
Yeah, you get a good look. Let me see how far you guys can see more than that.
I have 120 feet. The dark vision with
Damn.
with the goggles. Oh no, it's
I
60.
can see everything.
It's 60. Never mind. It would be 120 if I already had dark vision.
Well, there's a passageway up in there.
With a quick glance around, there doesn't appear to be another being in here with him, no. You do get a better look of the room, several tables. There's a table full of papers. There's several, like, alchemical equipment you're familiar with splayed around. Water seeps into this room. It sort of runs down through here and it fills up like a pool.
Watch that path, good guardsman. I want to take a look at these implements, see if I can divine his purpose.
Bannon steps in the room now. He's got weapons drawn. He sees Modisette on the table. And big old smile is on his face now. You said you want to... Oh, yeah, well, you already gave your perception.
Yeah, I'll let
the other
some
two
other
of you, what
people
do you
do
guys
stuff.
think? Yeah, you pull out a torch, you look down the path, you walk as they're all doing their own things. It's very narrow. Water is by your feet, right? Sort of drips into this room, but it's sort of been stifled by something. You can see that rocks have been stacked up towards over here, where the water drips from. There's like cracks in the rocks that leads into here. And Nagel, you're just grappling with Modisette, I guess. You're still holding him down. But anything else you want him to do?
He's just gonna tell him to explain, you know, what he already asked him.
Are you gonna talk yet, or do I need to make you talk?
My work is almost complete. Can't you understand that?
What work?
And he's sort of like struggling against you. And says, all of this, I can save her. Wait, fuck, I fucked up the voice. I can save her. I swear it.
From what?
From her own mortality, of course. She is but a human, a precious human, but still.
You're hearing this, Reggie?
Indeed I am.
Look, the operation has already begun. If you stop me now, she will die and I will never forgive you.
So you cut her open, and if she dies, it'd be your fault, wouldn't it?
She was going to die anyways. I'm saving her. You are her murderers in this situation. And Bannon sort of chimes in, I guess. He's got this grin, you can see him. And he's muttering to himself something. He pulls out a weapon, but he's keeping that to himself. So yeah, we'll go back to Mitchell. What are you up to?
Sorry.
You guys can take it from here. You can establish your own order.
Sure. I didn't mean to interrupt you with that previous description. I was confident I knew it. That 25, he's just trying to extend her life.
One sec.
No worries.
What were you saying with that 25?
Yeah, I interrupted you earlier and I apologize. With that 25, he's just trying to extend her life.
This is hard, right? What would you know? You've glanced through his notes, so you get a general idea of what he's up to. It's not too familiar. You know, you've heard of, you feel fairly confident in your assumption that you made earlier.
Okay. Reggie is going to try and figure out a way to reverse this, to not kill the both of them. Like the mayor or this elf. So I guess he's gonna... I don't have Dispel Magic. But he's gonna try and use magical means by perhaps expending spell slots. And try to reverse the effects done to the mayor.
that definitely wouldn't be the way to go about it, but what are you gonna try with her? You know, I need more than that.
She has an incision. There's a glowing rock, a glowing gem inside of her belly, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, do I think her life force is now tied to this gem? Or is it just like an arcane focus that's focusing the powers of whatever's going on here?
Throughout your research as a wizard, you've heard of... You're piecing, like, things together. You're making assumptions and guesses. Some people try becoming liches with phylacteries and other stuff like that. Some people... You're thinking about everything that could extend someone's life, right? This isn't exactly ringing any bells other than what you've read from his notes. To be honest, your guess would be as good as any, whether or not ripping that out would kill her, or is there a way to put it back, if that's even her life, or it's just something. It doesn't appear to be a spell focus or anything like that.
Okay, so quickly he's going to check the elf and see if she's still alive. Just a finger to her throat to see if there's a pulse, if she's cold on the table.
And the woman has a pulse. She's very hot. She's burning up.
Okay. I mean, quickly back over to Eleanor. And he's going to try and magically, like, send the energy from the stone back into the mare.
And how are you doing that? 'Cause Arcana is just like knowing stuff about magic-related topics, you know? It's not like doing magic that you don't have.
I mean, what's the spell for that? As far as I know, there is no spell for that.
Probably
I haven't
something
the
where
slightest idea.
we'd have to get insight from his notes or review everything he's got here further.
Modisette said she's running out of time, though.
Yeah, we had to work quick. Let's see. I want to see what all these implements are, because it could be something alchemical that I have experience with. So I want to see if there's something related to that. If I can look over his implements, instruments, materials that he has.
Like, since Reggie's really unable to do anything, he'll help out Marcus.
Okay.
He'll explain what he thinks is going on.
Well, you can do that if you want.
That would make sense if it were that kind of magic. It's very powerful and dangerous. Let's see. So I'm trying to think of what kind of role this is. I guess investigation?
Do you have the alchemy proficiency?
Yeah, you just roll like intelligence plus your alchemy if you do.
The only things that I really have are like tinker's tools and shit. I don't know if that counts for alchemy. So.
You mentioned alchemy.
Well, I did it because he does alchemical and stuff like that work. I don't know if that fall under Arcana or investigation or what exactly that fall under for this one is my only thing. Because alchemy is not a skill, right? So I don't.
It is. It's a toolkit skill.
Toolkit skill? Oh fuck.
Yeah, much like there's calligraphy or.
So you just give if you don't have that proficiency, just give me an intelligence check.
Oh boy. All right. Well, that's not bad.
Have advantage.
That ain't bad.
Yeah. What was your background in alchemy again? Sorry.
So it's well, his primary focus is clearly explosives because of the gun, but I mean he's dabbled in alchemy in general. I wouldn't say that he's a specialist in it, but he's been around people who are within the craft.
You learn the basics, you have some contacts, friends
Right.
maybe when you were learning, right? You can identify the components, not entirely, but you know that general purpose. Most of them seem to be about keeping people alive. Some are about keeping people unconscious, anesthetics, stuff like that.
Well, these stone clearly is infused with magics meant to do what you would expect, extend life force, but also I believe there are some implements here that may be using as anesthesia. It's using it to keep both of them unconscious. So. But as far as gleaning a purpose for us to change these effects without killing either one of them, I'm uncertain. It may be beyond us unless you wish to let him complete his work, in which case, well, both of these beings would be abominations. I don't feel that they could be allowed to live. Referring to the two the two patients, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No. Bannon chimes in now. We can't let him live. He's making a monster of our glorious mayor, and he must pay for his sins, what he did to my guard. I say we burn this entire cave down. That Naga included. We bring it all down.
Well, the Naga notwithstanding, is not motivated by vengeance, unfortunately, but I tend to agree with our fair guardsman that I feel that what he has done here is beyond us. It cannot be reversed. They should all, unfortunately, be, well, removed.
He's gripping his knife. His fingers are turning white.
No, this isn't their fault. There must be a way to undo this.
I think that if we...
Modisette.
You want to say something, Ghost, or...?
Oh, you can go with Modisette.
Yeah. Modisette.
What? What is it? Please let me continue.
How do you save both of them?
You're a fool. You cannot save both. If you don't let me finish, neither will survive.
Will both survive if you finish?
Of course.
Oh, pfft.
Bullshit.
Insight that.
Yeah, he sort of darts his eyes back and forth before he says it. It doesn't take too much to tell that he's desperate and fucking
I think
lying.
we all know that's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
You care only for the mayor's survival. Your obsession with her is deep. Reginald, much pain has been caused here already. If we were to let him do this work, the outcome could be entirely different than what we expect, or than even he expects. While we have no threat to us right now, I know it is a difficult choice, but I think all of it must be put to an end.
What about the two of you guys? Nagel, Leo, what's your input?
I think what's done is done. Can't kill an innocent for this.
Unfortunately, I'm not well versed in the ways of magic. I cannot say one way or the other if allowing Modisette to complete his whatever this spell is, however unnatural, if it could save both, or if it would kill both. I don't know.
You must believe me, I can save her, still.
And kill the other in the process.
Sacrifices must be made.
And why sacrifice this one for the other's life?
Because she's an elf. She will live on. Where she doesn't know her.
You don't know her, but you're looking at the two of them now. She has a bit of a semblance to the mayor. Similar facial features, same eye color, stuff like that, you know?
Modisette, you're a monster. Reggie grabs out his 50 feet of rope. He ties a noose. Can he tie a noose?
That's a simple knot.
Yeah, he ties a noose, places it around Modisette's neck.
What are you doing? No.
What are you doing?
Modisette dies. He takes the rope and hands the noose to Donovan. I think that was his name.
Donovan's
No.
way dead.
Bannon.
Bannon? Bannon.
Yeah.
Banadon.
Marcus, I think that you'll agree with me that Bannon is technically the authority here.
I think he's the only authority. So yes, it would fall to him. Maintain peace and justice in his town. It would look good for the townsfolk for him to be brought back in.
He hands the noose to Bannon.
However, as my contract with the Baron does stipulate, I would need you to write a letter certifying that I assisted in this endeavor, Bannon. It is important for my endeavors back in the court.
Oh, and he's smiling now. He grabs the noose from you. I'll write whatever you want me to write. And it seems, Reginald, I have misjudged you. He grabs the noose. He's getting ready to tighten it and pull it real, you know? What about you, Leo, Sim? You want to do anything, or just letting this happen?
Your eagerness in this matter seems a bit too great, Bannon.
Well,
Nagel's conflicted. I mean, while there's no honor in this or nothing, he's at the same time is recognizing the authority that Bannon would have.
Yeah, do criminals deserve an honorable death?
Well, I mean, he's
I assume everyone
What are you
does
thinking?
in the tribal society. They give you the opportunity at least, but
you know. But at the same time, he like I said, he's recognizing the authority where he's at, and not knowing fully any type of justice systems here. He looks to Bannon, you know, and it's just a sentence you intend to carry out.
And he looks at you, and then his answer to your question is tugging tighter on the noose, bringing Modisette closer to him, choking him out. And he begins to wind up his dagger, preparing to strike into his side as he chokes him.
And with that, Nagel will let him loose.
Oh yeah. If none of you are going to interject, the scene plays out in front of you.
Yeah.
Modisette tries to grasp at his neck where the noose is tied, and it's choking, his eyes bulge out. Bannon brings in his dagger, gleefully, a big smile on his face as he stabs into Modisette's side over and over as he pulls with his other hand the rope tighter around his neck. Eventually, Modisette goes limp, falls to the ground, but Bannon continues to pull and puts his foot on his back and sort of presses it against him.
Marcus.
yes, my friend.
Reggie points a hand over to the elf woman and casts the spell. Whatever locks were holding her come loose. Would you care to look after my kin over there?
I fear it will do little good, Reginald, but I can try.
I will spend what time she has left with her. Then Richie hops up on the counter and places Eleanor's head on his lap or something.
Okay, yeah. Her breathing is shallow. She is also burning up, you feel now.
There's literally nothing I can do.
What's wrong with yourself?
The elf is unconscious, and she has markings on her body and she's quite hot at the touch. other than that, she appears to be fine.
Yeah, Eleanor's the one that was, like, she's looking fucked up. She's already got the incision.
Is there no way you can heal her?
I am not a healing man. And my magics are of no use here.
And what of Modisette's magics? Were they of no use?
I would never have risked it. Though he
Well,
may have something on him. Reggie gently places her head back on the counter and hops off and, you know, loots Modisette for anything of use.
You're looting Modisette while he's getting, like, continuously choked out by Bannon.
He's
He's just
dead. He's
savoring
fucking
every
dead.
moment. He's still in the act of
Yeah,
fulfilling.
it's not dead until Bannon decides he's dead. It's at that point at this time.
He wants his spell book or a notebook or something that was kept on him. Maybe there's something on his person that could help us.
Sure. Bannon gets his anger out of his system and eventually lets go of the noose, which gives you an opportunity to search him. What just happened? Okay, reconnected. On Modisette, there seems to be a small, like in his robe pockets, he's got an incision knife that has some blood on it, a dagger with some carvings in on it. You already have his necklace. There don't appear to be any notes or anything like that, no books.
Well, that's all I can think of. You gentlemen? He hops back up on the counter.
Right. Well, now we killed the Naga.
You are free to do as you wish. If you do somehow kill it, it will kill you, your children, your children's children, for the rest of the generations so it desires. I will not anger an immortal.
The three of you, what's up? Just chilling.
Niggle's waiting to see what Marcus says about the elf.
No,
Let's see.
yeah, I can take a look, I guess. I can take an actual medicine check and tell you all about it. Yeah, she's fine.
She's got
Yeah,
a fever.
she'll be fine in a couple hours.
Oh, she just has a small fever. Probably from whatever anesthetics or other means that he was using. And I don't recommend
Marcus.
angering the Naga, by the way. You would not stand a chance. Yes.
Would you care to try your healing magics on the both of them? Just rule out possibilities.
My magics are unfortunately expounded at this time. If they survive long enough for me to regain the energies, I'll be happy to, but I feel that the mayor is truly lost. This one, I don't know. She said they had the same incisions? Is there any glow coming from her
Oh,
belly?
no. She has no incision.
Oh.
The only one who has any, yeah.
I feel
She's just hot to the touch, you know.
I feel this one may make it, but I believe that what's done is done in the mayor's case.
Maybe we should put the elf in the water to cool her down.
I don't think we should do anything with the water. Water has been nothing but terrible for us since we came this way. Outside, inside. No. I say we try to keep her cool.
Perhaps just dabbing her face with a cloth, Nigel.
Do you have a cloth?
Take this handkerchief and go make sure that water's cold before you bring it back over. Be very careful. Again, don't trust anything in this place. It's just a hovel of a mad wizard.
Alrighty, I figure we take a long rest. See if you can regain your spell slots.
We're gonna
and heal
sleep
them.
here for 8 hours?
We don't have to. Again, guys, a long rest isn't.
I
sleep.
know. We're gonna sit in this cave for.
Wrong edition.
Oh God.
What if we leave the cave with everybody? I don't like staying here longer than I need to.
I don't know.
If we can move them, we should move them, but I don't know again that the man will survive.
Indeed. I will remain however long she has left.
Do me a favor. If I ever die in a cave, drag me out.
Agreed.
What about the Naga? We've not spoken to her. We don't know what magics she may have.
I don't know. Reggie looks defeated. He got the bad guy, but he couldn't save his friend.
Is it not worthwhile to ask? Perhaps the Naga could save both of them.
What incentive would she have? She cares not for us. It was an alliance of convenience.
Perhaps a life debt. We did save her from a never-ending existence of pain.
That could be. But what ties does Modisette have to the Naga? None?
He imprisoned her.
He came across her and continued to imprison her.
Exactly. We have killed the one who imprisoned her.
You do remember from your conversation earlier this day that she wanted to be present or the source of his death.
Way to go.
It's likely she is not pleased.
She can see through the fucking...
Maybe. Maybe she can.
She can talk. Again, it's like 40 feet.
She just looks disappointed. It's not up to scale.
Oh well, just drag him in just within eyesight and then slit his throat and drop him and walk away.
I say we
Sure.
exit this cave as soon as we can. I do not wish to tarry here for very long. I will
Alrighty.
wait and see what occurs with your friend, but this Naga may be displeased. We must be on our guard.
Well, regardless, Reggie will wait until she either dies or 8 hours pass.
Alright, so Reggie's gonna wait. You guys just gonna wait for him to wait, or are you gonna head out?
Oh, I would wait, because I have a patient here that I can try to work with, someone who I can try to use some medical knowledge on and make sure she's alright. Things are going
Yeah, and
decent.
if Leo can, he'll offer up his assistance. Whatever medical training he has.
Alright. Well, you guys tend to the patient while Reginald soothes a dying woman unconscious. She shivers eventually. Not too long passes, not even an hour before, eventually. The light that was glowing from the whatever was embedded in her stops its glow. It fades. And, Reginald, maybe you check for her pulse, but you find none.
Reggie nods to himself. Removes the gem or whatever it was, and then will proceed to carry her out. Is the elf still alive?
The elf is fine. Still unconscious, but fine.
Oh, okay.
You're able to pick up Eleanor's corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel the elf will survive. Call it a hunch. Let us leave this place. Actually, what is over there? Did anyone investigate?
No.
Yeah, I shined the torch down there.
Nagel, Leo, what was down there?
I didn't go down that way.
No. Well, could you check down there to see what's down there? Could be a back entrance, back exit.
I suppose I could look back down there again.
Thank you.
Leo will go back over and shine his torch down the little pathway.
Yeah, same description from earlier. Seem to be rocks blocking the flow of water. Some of it leaks out, drips down that way.
Yeah, so it doesn't really resemble a path.
Up until a certain point where it seems blocked off, barricaded.
Alright then. Reggie starts walking through.
The Nagel was carrying the elf.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reggie, you walk through the passage. You see the Noggle curled up, waiting for you to return. Well, was the elf there?
He was. He was strangled and stabbed at the same time.
So he is dead then.
Most gruesomely.
I
As
wish
is
to
my
see
friend.
the body. What?
As is my friend.
It doesn't seem to care.
Yeah. The body's in there. I suppose. Marcus, could you ask Bannon to drag it out?
I'm sure he'll be quite happy to do so.
Probably drag that thing around the entire town.
Marcus, oh, that's me. Bannon,
He turns to face you. He's currently holding Modisette's head, his hair, his head, and just dragging him a bit.
do you plan on bringing that corpse back to town?
We must make an example of him.
Agreed.
I need to bring law back to Orlane.
Agreed. Well, let us go then. Your corpse is coming.
I'm going to remove the tokens from Mayor and the elf, but I'm assuming you're both carrying them right now.
Yep, I got him.
Eventually Bannon emerges, and Naga takes notice. Yes, that is the one. I must thank you for your services. He's referring to the entire group. Bannon doesn't give a shit. He's sort of grunting, dragging Modisette through the mud.
What did the Naga say again? Apologies.
Thank us.
Thanking you for your service.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
It was a matter of similar allegiances, nothing more. What is it you intend to do now?
I must fully recover, and then from there, escape this hell.
And you will leave this place?
I do not wish to remain here any longer.
Well, so I would say we shake hands and leave as enemies, but seeing the absence of hands, I ask that you do not tarry in this place or threaten the townspeople above, or we will have to cross.
And doesn't seem to be taken aback by your words. Just contemplative for a moment. Of course. And we wouldn't want to cross paths again, now would we?
No. Good day. And begin to walk off. By the way, is that undead thing still alive? Just out of curiosity.
Oh yeah, the big old ogre-looking thing.
Oh yeah.
Just banging on the wall.
I mean, it's not going anywhere. I don't know, actually.
Let's just kill it.
Yeah, I would.
Bridge, you'll cantrip it to death if he has to.
No loose ends on that.
No loose ends.
It's
Sure.
a matter of time before those chains break and
Very
Orlane's
true.
under
Undead
attack by a
don't.
giant ogre. Yeah, fuck.
Alright.
A little montage plays out in front of you where you guys all take your swings and cast your spells and shoot your
Shoot,
bullets.
Yeah.
shoot it.
Eventually, the poor beast drops his mace and
Poor
returns to
beast.
death.
Now, about these people, are they still rather screwed?
Well, the one who gave them their orders is dead. They were commanded to follow Modisette. I suppose they may be free. If they're not, I say we take them with us. Keep them someplace where they can't cause trouble, and eventually myself or someone else will be strong enough to dispel the effects.
Yeah.
It's my profession.
Yeah, see if they're all if they're all back in control themselves, and if not, well, maybe we can we'll try to get them all in
Are they
chains.
still doing their thing up there?
Yeah, that's my question. Like, try to get them back in control. And if they're back in control of themselves, then that's fine. We can get them out. But if not, then we need to get them chained up and bring them back in until we can rehabilitate them, so to speak.
You guys,
He's dragging the corpse.
you guys return to see the people still mining away very slowly, very weakly. They don't appear to have stopped, but
Alright, let's try
still
and
in
get them with
trembling
us.
state, yeah.
I imagine our two strong muscle men could take one over each shoulder.
Well, Nagel's already carrying an elf.
Oh, that's right. Like Leo could take 4 over his shoulders.
I would want to throw this elf over the shoulder.
Do you have any manacles around?
By them, they don't appear to be chained to anything now.
Any manacles in the cavern that we saw?
Got some rope.
You remember that there's some
Oh.
manacles on the bed
We could just do some
posts,
rope.
the ones from the elf.
Rope would be good. Just try to rope them up and.
Yeah, we'll just lasso them all around the neck, tie it together. I'll drag it.
It's not gonna be.
Have up some big old mass hanging.
Not gonna be pretty, but they didn't do it. Just gotta get them back to town.
You think we could manage that, Demi?
You guys, you go back to approach and maybe speak with them, or just gonna drag them?
Oh, well, I mean, we'll try talking first to see what's if they're conscious and aware or not.
Reggie's busy.
Yeah, I'd approach them. Pardon?
Whichever one, choose which one, I guess. Yeah. Who's your first target?
Woman's closest, so. Pardon me.
She sort of turns, and she's no longer trying to mine. She's sort of making grunting sounds. After a moment, she drops a pickaxe. She doesn't say anything.
Are you quite alright? Are you finished with that work that you're doing?
When you say work, her head sort of cranes to the pickaxe. She tries to pick it up. She goes to a knee. She stumbles forward.
No, 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 leave it. Leave it. Come now. Shoulder his weapon. Can you speak? What is your name?
She tries to pick herself up and falls back to her knee. She seems to be very weakened. The others take note of this conversation. They also stop mining. One of the men sits on the ground. The other one's trying to walk towards you.
Yeah, I'm kind of ready, but if he doesn't seem like he's trying to take me out, I'm gonna let him approach.
So he's definitely like shambling, but he seems. They all appear to be in like a weakened state.
He doesn't look like he's
Very
dead, does he?
Well, he's a very old man. He should definitely be dead. He doesn't seem like an undead, if that's his
Yes.
name. Yeah. None of them appear to be able to communicate with you.
Alright. Let's try to
Just a bunch of grunting sounds and stumbling and weakness.
try to pass along some rations or water if they'll take it.
You try handing it to them. One of them tries grabbing it, and he sort of starts attempting to drink it, I guess. Coughs a little bit. But other than that, you know. They all seem to be in sort of like a drone state of mind, where they're just sort of reacting to things. No cognitive function at this current time.
Well, the rope seems to be perhaps the best method to get them out together. They can't. I mean, if they're not able to walk, I mean, I would try to herd them outside with us if I could. We're going to take you to sleep. Come along. You know, trying to rouse them to get them up.
Oh, yeah. You can sort of like shepherd them like sheepdog. Every now and then they stumble over or fall over and pick themselves up after.
Yeah, try to do what I can
It's
to
very
help them and just kind of try to
long
get them
process.
to make it out. Request help from the group when I say that they're all very weak. I feel perhaps something can be salvaged of a life from those that are here, but it will take time. They are addled.
Leo will go to help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much else has been salvaged from these mines or caves. But do we really care for these lives now?
They are lives. That is why we care.
He was feeling pretty grim and it's just everything has gone pretty awry, it seems, down here. Just everywhere we go, it's kind of catching up on him here.
If we can do but some small measure of good, perhaps it will atone for what we had to do to achieve all this. Not that I am aware. I know that it has been difficult here for you.
I suppose you're right. I'll offer up whatever help I can. With that, you'll grab whichever ones you want.
Yeah. As a collective effort, you're able to shepherd the people up to the water, and then eventually, if you're exiting, I'm assuming that's the goal here.
Mhm.
It's a very challenging process, but you're able to get them through the waterfall and back out into the wide open air. Yeah. We'll just assume all the people's tokens are with you at this current moment.
Yeah. Unless there's any danger, be able to just pass through.
Yeah, if you're going back the way you came, you're heading directly to town.
Yeah.
Yeah, are there more of those gator things in the water?
Yeah, they definitely are. They seem to be where they were before. Some of them have moved, obviously. But as you exit the waterfall, Bannon does turn to the group and says, "Alright. We know that thing is still in there. We've secured our people and we've accomplished our task. We can't honestly just let it walk away."
That thing could control the minds of those who we secured from just across a boulder while it was in constant agony and pain. It has been freed from that. Even if we were to block it in here, you think it could not break through those boulders, come up here and ruin the town of Orlane all its own? Please. Please, guardsmen, count your blessings.
So you're supposing I just have faith in that creature not to attack my people again?
If it were, we were to come kill it. It was never meant to attack your people to begin with. It was trapped. They are evil creatures, I will agree with you there, but they do nothing without cause.
I suppose you're right, for the time being. I will return at a later time, and if it's still there, I must take action, but I will give it the benefit of the doubt for now.
If you intend to return and check it, I will stay in town a few days myself. I will go with you along as well. I agree that if the creature remains here and tries to turn us into a lair, Orlane should not suffer because of a decision that we made, not any further.
What are the odds it doesn't just move on? I'm sure this sick being in that filthy, stinking cave.
Ben lets out a big old sigh. He looks over at the drones of people that you're hurting. He looks over at Eleanor, who's listless and lifeless, and Reginald's hands. There's much work to be done.
Indeed.
He sort of looks at Marcus, and approaches you. He says, I appreciate the offer to stay in Orlane, but I don't know how to say this. Our guard is a bit undermanned at this current time due to that. He sort of holds up Modissette's head in this filth and he spits on him. I'm not sure even I can take care of the people on my own.
Nego look over. I'm not going anywhere for a while, I don't think.
I don't particularly wish to dwell here any longer. We've not been met with much more than contentment, and with good reason.
I will stay to attempt to take care of these people, to free them of their affliction.
Right, well, let's be off. Yeah. You guys make the trek back to Orlane. It's been a long journey. Many things have transpired.
We've killed all the named NPCs.
We're gonna be wrapping this up. Is there any last goals or anything you want to check out?
I believe you owe me some money, Reginald.
Indeed I do. Reginald will hand you 10 gold, far more than your payment. Do a job well done. Or, as well as could be.
Well,
think you overpaid me, but I will gladly accept.
He gives you a nod of the head. Yeah, I guess one of Reggie's goals is just to dispel the effects of the imprisoned people. I don't know if the church will come after him or not, but maybe that's for another day.
Okay.
Nagel's gonna help Bannon maintain law and order around Orlane for now.
Alright. Leo?
Leo is pushing on. Came here basically as a mercenary. And, he didn't like what he saw from this town.
Marcus.
Good ghost.
Probably. I mean, Marcus would stay in town a few days to go with Bannon whenever he checks to see if the Naga has left. Once that's done, he'll take whatever letter that Bannon has wrote as the acting authority in the town, return to the Baron's court, let him know that the job was done, but also let him know the state that Orlane is now in, what everything that's transpired, so that perhaps the town can get aid from the court in the days to come, because it is rather porous.
Bit of an understatement.
There's a lizard leading
Right.
the temple. He has militarized them.
Actually,
right,
yes.
actually,
Oh, shit.
One more
For
thing
now.
before we get to that. Reggie did want to look after the elf chick, make sure she's okay.
Yeah. We'll, I'll do like a little timeline for a little
Nice.
bit.
Now let's hear from Kothar.
So, as you all accomplish your goals, the woman who you rescued from the cavern eventually comes to, and she is very shaken. She tells you her experience under Modisette's captivity. She shares with you what she knows. Reginald, you enlist the help of Liam, and you search for a way to get these people back to shape. It's a very long and arduous process. You also eventually take time to read some of Modisette's notes and get a better understanding of what he was trying to accomplish and how and whatnot. Nagel, you said you're helping out. You're like,
Yep, he's gonna be helping out Bannon with the lawful duties.
oh yeah. Bannon, begrudgingly at first, but then very appreciative afterwards, accepts your help. Trying to get law back in Orlane. His troops have been whittled down to just himself, another guard, and with your assistance and occasionally Marcus, he's just sort of trying to rally the troops up. Leo travels forth in search of greater adventure. Word spreads that the temple has been gearing up for something. They've been undergoing training, weapons training. They've been militarizing, basically. Rumors spread that a lizard seems to be behind it all, which shakes some people up. Eventually, a dwarf arrives at this village and tries to open up shop, Barthen's Provisions, but is unable to do so as all his customers appear to be either dead or just not coming by. His business venture fails. Who I believe was supposed to be your boss, Nagel. He hired you to come here in the first place. Yeah. What else would happen? What am I missing? I guess that's it for now. Unless there's anything I'm forgetting about. It's a long process in attempting to get Orlane back to the village it once was. And its future is uncertain.
No, I got nothing.
I'm good.
Yeah, well, I guess so ends the desecration of Orlane.
Thoroughly desecrated.
Yeah, we did a good job of
Jesus.
desecrating it.
We really
We
did.
are the worst heroes.
We're not the good guys.
No.
Wait a minute now. What did Nagel do wrong? He never killed any innocents.
You cut a clergyman in half or something.
Yeah, but they were attacking.
Self-defense. I bisected him
I'm
in
gonna go ahead and
self-defense.
stop the recording.